Hey, what's up, y'all? I wanted to show you a new alternate way of tying up the trip style. It's kind of getting some momentum, and a lot of y'all are trying it out. So I've kind of been messing with it a lot, and I've come up with this different way of tying it that you might be able to get a little bit more detail, maybe get some different effects out of it. So I'll just show you. So you want to start off with mirror fold like you normally do, and I personally, for this particular method, I separate the front and back. So I've already got my shirt clipped up here. Just tie the mirror fold, and then I put clips along both edges, so that way when I open it up, I got the sleeves clipped together, and then that way when you start tying, but you'll keep your lines of symmetry down the middle of the front and middle of the back. So let me adjust that. All right. So so the front and back is going to be different, basically. But so it's basically the beginning of it. The way it starts is the same as any other trip style that you do. You're just going to gather up some areas in kind of a scrunch method. Here, so you can see better. I'm going to start at the top here by the collar, kind of just grab me an area up here, and now this tie, you're only going to tie off the base of each nub with the sinew, and then we're going to go to the next nub. Normally in the trips, the original tie method of trip style, you'll wrap the nubs with the sinew. But this, we're only going to do the base of each nub, and I'll show you why here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go through and tie these nubs up like I would normally in a trip style, but only tying the base. So wrapping around the previous nub to pull them together, and then getting the base. Don't forget to take your clips off as you're tying, or you'll end up with clips inside your shirt, and I do that all the time. So it doesn't seem to hurt anything. Might rust your clips up a little bit. I'm going to move around to the back side of the shirt now. It can get kind of confusing as you're tying this up to when you have the front and back separate like that, but you'll figure it out. This method of tying is really for those of you that have already tried and kind of got good at the original trip style tie. Then this will make a lot more sense to you. Okay, we'll go over to the sleeves here. sure I got all my clips out. I'm giving about 3 wraps around the base of each thing. Okay, so here we have the shirt tied up with just the base of each nub tied. So now here's where it gets interesting. You're going to take each one of these nubs that you separated off, you take your fishing line, and it's a pretty random thing, but then you're going to take each nub. So I've got a big nub here, and I'm going to separate off a little piece of it and tie a series of Kenny style nubs all over each trip style nub that's separated out. So back up so you can see it a little better. So we'll be making a bunch of these all over the nub. And I just do the same. I wrap around the base, separate off the nub that I want, then wrap around the base of the previous nub, pull it tight, and it pulls it together. Then I wrap the nub down. Like I said, this is a more advanced technique, so if you're just getting into trip style, I highly recommend that you work on the basic original tie first before you get into this, because it probably could be a little bit frustrating. But it's a super fun one to do, and it gives you a lot of cool options to do with when it comes to dyeing it and everything. And we'll dye this together here on this video as well. I'm just going around like the base of the nub, of the trip nub that we separated, and grabbing up some fabric and pinching it off into a Kenny style nub. This is also a way to really max out your fine string detail that you get from the fishing line with the trip style. And you can kind of go around the areas that you couldn't pinch up the Kenny nubs in, and give it a little bit of couple of wraps with this to throw some string detail in that. So I turned that big nub into this series of Kenny style nubs, and it's just wherever you can pinch them up and grab them and get them in there is the way I've been doing it. So I don't think there's really a wrong way to do it, so you can have fun with it and just be as free with it as you want. It's an expressive style like I like to do, so it's a great stress reliever as well if you've been doing stuff that's really the precision type dyeing and stuff. So this might be something that you can do on the side that kind of gives you a little bit of freedom to do some different stuff with the way the way you dye it and everything like that. So I'm going to do a couple of these here, and then we'll jump over to this finished tie, and we'll dye it. Try to keep this video a little bit shorter and more to the point, because I just wanted to show you guys how this works. It's something I've actually been working on since I came up with Trip Style, but I just kind of put it away for a while and stayed with the original for a while, and I've been revisiting this idea lately, and I kind of like it. I've had some cool results with it lately. So we're just going from one to the next. Here's the first one, here's the second one. Got 3 or 4 little nubs on that second one. Here's the starting of the section. I'm using 20-pound test monofilament fishing line to do this. That's what I usually use for my fine string detail when it comes to Trip Style or Kenny Style, or even the Cosmic Geode ties that I've been doing lately. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's another cool way of tying a geode. A little different. And it's a really easy one to do. You want to get this fishing line really tight too. If you really want to squeeze them little nubs together, so you get good deep string detail in there. And these are a lot easier to dye as well, because you've got the shirt separated, so you're only working with 2 layers of fabric versus 4 layers. And you can do the same with, obviously, with the original tie, the way I separated this shirt, the front and back, to start this. And that's a way of getting the front and back to be different, as well as improving your saturation and increasing the amount of detail you have in the piece with the Trip Style. So we turn that nub into these here. And I'm going to finish this tie up real quick, and then I will get back and we'll have the finished tie, and then we'll step right over here to the dye area and we'll dye it together. All right, we have the piece finished tied. This is what it looks like all tied up with all the nubs. You can see the sinew separating off all the segments for the big nub areas. And let's just dye it. I don't really have a plan for how I'm going to do it, but we'll just get to it. I'm going to do yellow around all the base area, and we'll use colors that kind of react into that. And all the empty space areas there. All right, let's do This is an orange that I mix up on myself. Some red. Let's see. I like the sea green from Grateful Dyes. It's one of my favorites to use lately. It kind of plays more like a blue, so it makes a cool purple when it hits into the reds and stuff too. Got some turquoise. Cloth. Let's go back into some red. A lot of times the less thought I put into these when it comes to color and color placement, the better off it's going to be. Just kind of let it happen. Just let it flow. Do what you think looks fun. Let's go back and get some more orange in there. I don't get too concerned about colors clashing together when I'm doing these types of styles. I just kind of let them go where they want to go. Because a lot of times if you get some muddy effects or whatever, a lot of times it's going to end up being like almost a highlight or a low light kind of situation. And kind of add some contrast and shadow to the piece. But getting a good full range of colors usually provides quite a bit of variety and detail in the piece as well. This is some golden yellow. This is what we're looking like so far. Let's see. Let's get some more sea green in there. Just going through and filling in holes and white spots. This is the process I kind of use once I get some color splashed around on there. Kind of letting some of them overlap with each other and stuff is fine. That's especially when it's colors that will react and play well together. It just adds more color varieties to your piece. Let's go with some turquoise again. Just kind of rotating back through the same colors. And then we're going to add a little bit of purple in there now. I didn't want to use it too early in because I didn't want it to kind of overtake, but we're going to add it in now. It'll be kind of limited how much we can put in there because I'm just going to go through and hit some of these white spots with it. Then we'll go back to the original yellow that we started with. Just tipping in those last little bits of white. These thick areas, the middle kind of dead space areas, you want to make sure you get plenty of dye down in there because it can get kind of thick in there with that tie. You want to have good saturation. This thing's looking pretty cool. A lot of color. kind of open up and look down in there and make sure you got color down in the deep parts. That's what we're looking like now. And I think I'm gonna just give it a few little dots of black here and there on some of these nubs to kind of bring out some string details. So, oh wait, found a white spot. Let's put a little dash of blue, or let's put a little dash of red in there. Okay, I think it's like we got all they keep popping up. Okay. Now with the black, I'm basically just going to go through and just hit some of these nubs a little bit. Because that's where all our string detail is on there, and I like to throw that contrast on there to really show what the fishing line's doing. Just about like that. We'll let some of it drip down in through the middle too. So it ends up like that. And I'm just going to kind of let that set in for a few minutes, and while I mix up some soda ash, and then I will apply the soda ash, and I'll batch this thing, and I will, at the end of the video, before I post it, I will show the reveal of this. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me for this video, and I'd love to see what you guys do with this. So please send me the pictures, ask questions if you want. Enjoy the Trip Style 2.0 tie. And if you like these things, these videos I'm doing, give me a like, leave some comments, subscribe, all that stuff. It all helps keep me going and keep new content coming. So thanks a lot. We'll see you on the reveal.